Well, today we're going to talk about these little toys. Well, little action figures. They're called Funko Pops, and they have a little history behind them. I recently started collecting these a couple of months ago, and we're going to talk about the history, why I started picking my hobby of picking it up, and how they probably make we probably make money off of these in the future. To start off, we're going to talk about how the history behind these little things. The history starts off by a guy named Mike Becker. He was a t-shirt designer, and he was looking for a big boy restaurant toaster. He found some online, but they were a little expensive. So he managed to make his own at a cheaper rate through China. He noticed that he can make action figures very cheaply, so he started making his own little action figures. He already had he already had property rights like Donald Duck and some part of Disney, but so he started making his own in Washington State out of his basement like everyone else. And after a couple of years, he got bored of it and he wanted to quit. But thankfully, this nightclub owner, which he was also a huge collector of toys by the name of Brian, forgive me if I pronounce it wrong, Mariti, he bought the company. And now he's a new CEO of the little things called Funko Pops. Um, he was such a big fan that he sold one of his prized collection, and with that money that he sold his collection, he put a down payment for his house. Funny how it works, right? The reason I started collecting little things because they show my personality. To be honest, I do remember looking at a Pokemon when I was a child, and how this became my favorite Pokemon. As you can see, they come in very, it expresses your music side. My favorite guitarist is Slash, so I feel like this will express my musician side. I feel like I started picking these up because working at Amazon, they come in bulk, and I fell in love with them at a glance. They have so much varieties. They have Pokemon, they have artists like Prince, Michael Jordan, basketball player. They have movie moments. Also, they just express themselves. Like, they express your personality without you mentioning anything. Another thing that the reason that I ended up picking this hobby is because I like the simplicity. If you can see here, there's not that many details, but yet look at his little smile though. You know, it looks. It's cool. It's a little cool feature. Uh, so this is the interesting thing about picking these up. I don't know if you're aware of this, but if you find exclusive pop over time, they can gain money. They like almost a stock to a certain extent. Like if you get an example, a Hulkbuster, it only costs $15, but you don't know in the near future it will increase to 500, $700. For another prime example of how these little things that they only cost $10, $15. If you catch a rare ones, some of the most expensive Funko Pops can get you thousands of dollars, which is ridiculous amount of money for a $15 action figure. A prime example of a Funko Pop that worth that much are Freddy Funkos. Freddy Funko is basically the mascot of the Funko Pop. There and some of the limited releases that one of these of Freddy will cost $50, but in the future it would cost you. It will if you want to sell it, it will cost you'll probably get an asking price for like 4,000, maybe 5,000, all depending of the exclusivity of the limited releases of these little things. I mean, like the history behind it is real interesting. A guy from his basement, he made a little toy, got bought out by a nightclub owner, which apparently he's a geek, and how it can actually show your personality without you talking so much, and also how it can make a little money for you in the future, just in case you do want to buy a house. Uh, Thank you so much.